When American and Israeli interests perfectly align, the United States steps aside and lets Israel act. And the public theater of disagreement, Trump saying, don't do it, Netanyahu doing it anyway. That theater gives America the cover it needs. America gets to look like the peacemaker while still achieving its military and geopolitical goals. The third theory, and this is the framework I'm going to build for you today, I call it the theater of consent. This goes one step further than the second theory. It says not only is America using Israel as a proxy, but both parties are jointly choreographing a performance. Each side is playing a different role for a different audience. Trump needs one image for American voters. Netanyahu needs a completely different image for Israeli voters. And critically, both sides needed Iran to retaliate. That retaliation was not an accident. It was the goal. Three theories. Let's take them one by one. Let me start with theory one. And I want to be very honest and fair about this. Okay, I don't like it when people knock down a weak version of the argument they're disagreeing with. That's not intellectually honest. So let me give you the strongest version of tail wags the dog that I can. Here's the case for it. Trump called Netanyahu directly and told him not to retaliate. Multiple sources confirmed this. American officials said Trump genuinely believed he had convinced Netanyahu to hold off. Trump was so confident that he told the Financial Times on the record, he will have no choice, I call the shots. He made that statement publicly before Israel attacked, and then Netanyahu completely ignored him, and that's not even the first time. The week before, Trump had a phone call with Netanyahu that, by Trump's own admission, did not go well. Trump confessed to reporters that he had cursed at Netanyahu, actually cursed at him because of Israeli military operations in Lebanon. The president of the United States was so frustrated with the Israeli prime minister that he was swearing at him over the phone. And on top of that, look at the domestic political pressure Netanyahu was under. Naftali Bennett, former Israeli prime minister, Netanyahu's main political rival, publicly stated that if Netanyahu followed Trump's wishes and held back, it would prove that Israel was no longer a sovereign state. Think about what that means for Netanyahu going into what's expected to be a very competitive election. He cannot afford to look like he takes orders from Washington. He needs to look like an independent commander who acts on Israel's interests alone. So, the logic of tail wags a dog is real. Nino had strong incentives to defy Trump. He has a history of doing exactly that. And the facts on the surface, Trump said stop. Net didn't stop, seem to confirm the theory. This is a strong argument. It has internal logic. It has evidence and explains why many serious analysts in Washington still defend this narrative. But here is the problem, and this is the single most important question in this entire video. Okay? So I want you to really pay attention to this. If America genuinely wanted to stop Israel, why didn't it use its actual leverage? Think about this carefully. America provides Israel with almost its entire advanced weapons arsenal, bunker buster bombs, cruise missiles, precision guidance systems. America operates the air defense network that protects Israeli skies, the Aegis destroyers in the eastern Mediterranean, the early warning data, the mid-course trajectory tracking. America shares the intelligence that Israel uses to plan every single one of these strike missions. All America had to do was cut off one of these, just one, and Israel could not have operated the way it did on June 8th. But America did not cut off any of them, not one. America continued to provide full military cover for Israel, even in the hours immediately following the Israeli attack on Iran. Even after Israel had supposedly humiliated the President of the United States on a global stage, you don't continue to protect someone who just embarrassed you in front of the entire world unless you weren't actually embarrassed, unless that was the plan. And this is where we need to move to Theory 2 because Theory 2 has 5 specific pieces of evidence that Theory 1 simply cannot explain. Theory 2 and the tail wags the dog.